Whoa, people. The gift that keeps giving is giving again. There's a victim. He was a producer, a music producer for Diddy for a few years. But the victim was subjected to a lot of abuse, and he has decided to not be quiet about it, which is very smart of him. He's even decided to sue. Guess what? P. Diddy and his lawyer have been denying, which is their MO. Deny until they can't deny anymore. So let's see how it will end. And in this case, it's like the case of David and Goliath, and hopefully David will win. Check this video.
The new allegations against Sean Diddy Combs, a music producer, is accusing hip-hop mogul of assaulting him and forcing him to have sex with prostitutes.
It's very scary for myself, and it has me worried about my kids, and just sleeping with anxiety and different things like that. So just
well, if it isn't the infamous Sean Combs, aka P. Diddy, back with another jaw-dropping accusation against him. I bet you think you've already seen the worst of this man, but somehow Diddy manages to fall even further down. Little Rod Jones has come forward as one of Diddy's recent victims. It turns out it isn't just women who need to protect themselves from the producer, but even men. But wait, Diddy is still trying to refuse the allegations.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense.
What has Lil Rod got to say about his experience working with Diddy? And how has he responded to it? Let's find out. P. Diddy was the most acclaimed producer and rapper of his time, but lately, all he has managed to do is to get into nasty controversy. All limits. This time, the controversy is much worse than any of us could have imagined. That's right, Diddy has been accused of taking advantage of a man, and that too a producer, on his album.
He alleges that, Young Miami cousin tried to have sex with him in front of Diddy.
Yeah, he went into the bathroom, and then she came into the bathroom and tried to, throw herself on him. He didn't want to have nothing to do with her.
Rodney Jones, also known as Lil Rod in the music circle, felt on top of the world when he got the opportunity to work with Diddy. Now, you see, Diddy, despite his reputation, is one of the best record producers and executives in the industry. He has a successful record label, and his songs are instant hits. So it's not shocking that new artists turn a blind eye to his rather troubling past when they get a chance to work with him. That's exactly what Lil Rod did, expecting it to be the rare case when Diddy treats his employee nicely. But of course, you can't change someone's nature now, can you? Diddy ended up making Lil Rod's year an absolute hell. After a long time of enduring it, Lil Rod has come forward with his traumatizing experience of working under Diddy. Lil Jones was a videographer and producer on Diddy's team, where he worked really closely with Diddy. He worked with the acclaimed producer from September 2022 to November 2023 and produced singles for his latest album. The newbie artist accused Diddy of inappropriately touching his private parts and forcing him into physical activities that he didn't consent to. At this time, Lil Rod was working on Diddy's album and living with him in Combs' residence in New York, Florida, Los Angeles, and the U.S. Virgin Islands, in addition to a boat he rented out. That is to say, Diddy had plenty of opportunities to force Lil Rod into doing what he wanted. That's not all. Diddy apparently also forced Lil Rod into resourcing workers and engaging with them for his own entertainment. The biggest allegation was that Diddy forced Lil Rod into having unwanted encounters with other producers and friends. The horrible list of allegations didn't end here. Lil Rod accused Diddy of drugging him and taking advantage of him. The lawsuit has some pretty harrowing details about what goes on at the infamous Diddy parties. Turns out it's all just a cover for a bunch of illegal crimes, and I'd be lying if I said I was surprised to hear that. In the lawsuit, Lil Rod claimed claims that screenshots from parties that Combs threw for young girls and workers, some of whom he said were given beverages that had been tainted with drugs, are included. Allegedly, many underage girls were harmed and filmed by the mogul in his home. Combs, who Jones characterizes in the lawsuit as forceful and demanding, and someone who never takes no for an answer, allegedly used his position of influence as one of the most powerful figures in hip-hop and business to intimidate Jones. Jones claims Combs threatened to harm him physically if Jones disobeyed his demands. Diddy also tried to intimidate Jones by recounting some of his past incidents. Combs forced him to watch as he displayed guns and bragged about getting away with shooting people, but Diddy had one habit that might finally bring his downfall. According to the complaint, Combs demanded that Jones record him constantly, and Combs used Jones's phone to videotape himself many times. Jones says he has hundreds of hours of audio and video footage showing Combs, his employees, and his visitors engaging in serious illegal activity. If anyone is wondering, at least he got paid a lot for working with a big name like Diddy. As it turns out, that's completely false too. In his lawsuit, Jones says he was not paid for the songs he created for the Love album and that he was under an implied work-for-hire agreement. So basically, Combs, Universal Music Group, Love Records, and Motown Records all unfairly benefit at his cost. You can imagine what sort of hell this past year must have been for Lil Rod. I'm sure this ordeal put him in unimaginable mental distress, and only now he had the courage to come forward and take legal action. The producer and ex-employee of Diddy has filed a $30 million lawsuit against the record executive and taken him to court for his dirty crimes. Diddy isn't the only one Lil Rod is coming after. In the lawsuit, he has accused some big names of enabling Diddy and his criminal acts. Combs' adult son Justin, his chief of staff Christina Karam, Universal Music Group CEO Sir Lucian Grange, and former Motown Records CEO Ethiopia Habtemariam are just some of the people Lil Rod has accused of being involved in and assisting Diddy in his outrageous fantasies and crimes. There are also some interesting revelations in Lil Rod's lawsuit. The producer revealed that Diddy had lied to the public for decades about his orientation. Apparently, he was in a proper relationship with a rapper from Philadelphia who had also dated Nicki Minaj. This proves Diddy isn't what he wants to portray to the world. These aren't the first allegations of him being gay either. The rumors about him having relationships with men have been around for ages, but Diddy simply refuses to comment on these. Could this be a form of admission? Do you think Diddy would sit around and let a young producer with a lesser social status and a lesser name in the industry ruin his image like this? Not at all. Diddy has fought back, and I'm not surprised in the least. This guy has had a whole list of allegations against him throughout his career, and he has managed to still stay at the top of his game despite the bad reputation. All this could not have been possible if he had sat silently. This time again, Diddy has decided to come down hard against the junior producer. Diddy's attorney, Sean Hawley, spoke to the media and, of course, straight up denied all the allegations. They must think we, the audience, have amnesia and have forgotten all of Diddy's past. Well, Diddy has decided to pretend none of what Lil Rod said ever happened. According to his attorney, Lil Rod is just a liar who wants to get free money out of Diddy. Or maybe Lil Rod wants attention, and what better way to do it than to name drop one of the biggest producers in Hollywood and accuse him of unimaginable crimes. Diddy's attorney also made another interesting statement. Sean says they have evidence that Lil Rod is lying, the kind of evidence no one can ignore. Of course, they're keeping this evidence hidden and will only take it to court, but so far, Lil Rod's legal team has refused to communicate with Diddy or answer his attorney's calls. Why is it that Lil Rod is ignoring Diddy now? Could it be his form of self-preservation in order to protect himself from blackmail? Or is it true that Diddy has indisputable evidence against him? It looks like we'll have to wait for the court investigation to find out the truth. One thing that has caught my eye in this legal ordeal is that Diddy's team didn't deny all of the allegations. Instead, they downplayed some of them to make it seem like Diddy was just a friendly and close employer. According to the lawsuit, Jones claims he was made to work in Combs' bathroom as Combs took a shower in a glass enclosure while completely Now, this could easily be identified as harassment considering Lil Rod was staying with Diddy in a work capacity and Diddy was basically exploiting this power imbalance. But Diddy's team decided to completely downplay this incident and portray it as casual and normal. His chief of staff dismissed the accusations and said it was nothing but friendly horseplay, stating that those acts were Mr. Combs' way of showing that he likes you. What a horrible and borderline criminal way to show likeness, I have to say. Has anyone else noticed how good and fast Diddy's legal team is at shutting down any allegations against their producer, or is it just me? Well, of course they're getting good at it, considering the amount of practice they are getting. Just a few days ago, the team was busy defending Diddy against a whole other bunch of similar allegations, starting with one of his past girlfriends, Cassie Ventura. Cassandra had some similar accusations to Lil Rod. She too says that Diddy had been pimping her out to friends and while he recorded the encounters and later threatened her with them. Just a day after Cassandra made the allegations, Diddy offered her a settlement to try and close the matter. Well, unluckily for him, Cassandra's lawsuit gave more women the courage to come forward and record their stories. Two other women, Liza Gardner and Joey Dickerson-Neal, revealed how they had gone through similar suffering at the hands of Diddy. Diddy has settled with Cassandra, but when so many women came forward, he had no choice but to give his same old statement. As expected, he denied the allegations, saying enough is enough and calling the claims against him sickening. In a very dramatic manner, he acted innocent and said, "Let me be absolutely clear, I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth." After countless accusations and lawsuits, it's clear Diddy has managed to perfect his confused and devastated statement of innocence anytime someone comes forward with receipts of his crimes. Rumors of his criminal activities have been around for ages, but it looks like they're only now starting to stick. Three of Combs' previous performers supported Cassandra when she launched her lawsuit. Combs resigned from his position as chairman of Revolt TV that same month. A reality television program about his family was canceled by Hulu in December. Diddy's empire is already crumbling. Maybe Lil Rod's testimony will be the last nail in the coffin, and Diddy will finally be given the punishment he deserves. But then, we can only hope that Lil Rod doesn't fall victim to coercion or harassment and withdraws his statements. After all, this much is clear. Diddy has enough power over his victims to harass and intimidate them. But with the turning tides and the back-to-back allegations, Lil Rod should hold tight and get justice like he deserves.
Hey people, I hope you got the chance to watch the video from beginning to end, and please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Also, then my next video that will be coming will still be about this case, but the court documents and what is in it. Thank you. Bye.